Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Zare to Finance Credit. In today's video, we're gonna do some analysis, not any analysis, my analysis. Now, I've been around for quite some time. Now, I've seen not one, not two, but now it's gonna be the third bear market. So I actually wanted to dive in, obviously, to try to make you understand how far this can go. So what I decided to do is obviously to remind you guys what has been added since the last crash of the market of cryptocurrency, and obviously we're going to go over it and understand how much new money has been added to this market, and eventually I'm going to give you what is my market cap prediction for this bear market and how low it can go. So let's dive in. So first of all, for those that don't remember, we are currently looking at a market cap of $890 billion. Now, just to remind you, we were like way over $1 trillion. We're now at $890 billion. So you obviously are all asking yourself, how far can this go? And people say it's the same like any other bear market. And yes, we're gonna have 90% of the cryptocurrency, some of them being wiped out, some of them going to 90%, even more, and then basically bouncing back, and some of them were never ever gonna bounce back to their all-time high. Now, so the purpose of this video is obviously to show you what has been added since the last bear market, because during any bear market there's new project, new categories that are being added. So let's dive in. So again, remember this. So if you click here, okay, let's just to show you how far or what was the all-time high. So the all-time high was pretty much, I would say, $2.9 trillion, which was in November 2021. That was the all-time high for the cryptocurrency market cap. So now I actually try to gather every new category that has been added over the past year since the last bear market. So I think one of the most important, or one of the most used categories, obviously the wrap category. So basically, for those who don't know, is you have an option to wrap a specific cryptocurrency from a different blockchain, and then basically enable for you to transfer the equivalent of that token in other cryptocurrencies. For example, we have wrap Bitcoin. Okay, we also have RAND BTC, which is obviously a wrap of Bitcoin just made by RAND protocol. Then we have wrap BNB, so basically enabling whoever has BNB to also to interact with other other blockchain cryptocurrency, for example, like Ethereum, maybe even Solana, and any other one. So if you look here, the current market cap is $6.6 billion. Now, I think this was probably one of the most prominent category since the last bear market, because this was really the one that really reinvented the purpose of cryptocurrency and the ability that you can actually move one token from one blockchain to another by wrapping it. So I think this market, this category can really go further down. So right now we're looking at 6. I even predict it might even go to as low at $1.2 billion. So this is another category that has been kind of strong and really helped during the last rally to really push it, or since the bear market. Another category we can look at is obviously Polygon ecosystem. So basically, a lot of new project has been using Polygon ecosystem in order to speed up their transaction, and obviously to reduce their costs, because Ethereum during this last rally became extremely expensive. So this is something that's really gained a lot of momentum over the last few years, and this can obviously be another sector that can obviously be affected dramatically. So if you look here, Polygon has dropped over the last 7 days by 35%. So I think if you look at any project that has utilize Polygon, we might even see that this might also go to around, I would say, maybe $7 or $8 billion. So this is obviously something for you guys to consider. I'm saying this on purpose, all this speculation or forecast, because I want you guys to understand that since the last bear market, a lot of new project has been built. A lot of them has helped this whole ecosystem to bring utility, to bring new user. Some of them really gonna stay, some of them really gonna become less and less relevant. And then we have obviously the DeFi token. I think the DeFi token was really the hype over the last few years. That really hyped people and gave the ability for people to earn interest on the cryptocurrency. Obviously, we have the maker, we have the DAI, we have multiple projects that really has taken this sector to another level. And basically, you have the farming and everything that really push and got people super excited. And I think that sort of gave people more incentive to stay in this market and obviously to put more money. So obviously you have multiple projects. You have here $45 billion in this just a token related to DeFi. That is currently, if you look at it, we're looking at what, at 10, looking at 5% of the current market cap is related to DeFi token. So this is obviously something very big, and that really was, obviously, for those who remember, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, for example, those one were the project that really push us to, you know, get excited, get motivated. Obviously, this we're also going to see some further drop of the market cap, and obviously less and less people feel comfortable because of the Terra Luna situation. So we're obviously going to see, again, I'm forecasting we're going to see some big shake up in the wrap token sector, and also going to see some big drop in the DeFi token. You can obviously see here there's, over the last day, there was a 37% drop in the volume. So this is obviously something that to obviously make you understand. And then obviously you have here the NFT and collectible market, which obviously became very big over the last, I don't know, 14 months or 18 months. And you have obviously the Decentraland, the Mana token, Theta, obviously Ape, you know. So this is something that I think we tend to forget, and I want to remind you guys that we really had a lot of different projects that help us reach to that almost $3 trillion market. So this obviously was a sector that got a lot of hype, got people to make a lot of good decision and bad decision. But this is obviously another sector that people got super excited. It will also be hit dramatically. And obviously you have the Metaverse. So the Metaverse, once again, to remind you that when Facebook decide they're gonna go all in the Metaverse and then rebrand themselves to Meta, that really gave a push to every token or cryptocurrency that has been around even before Facebook make an announcement. It really helped this push even further. So if you want to classify what is a Metaverse cryptocurrency, it will be any project that is trying to create a virtual reality. If it's a LAN, if it's a gaming where people can interact and obviously can own an ownership of that digital space, that will be anything that Metaverse. So that's how I'll explain it. And I think this obviously was another one that really pushed forward. And I think if you look at previous cycle, most of it was just ICO. That was the one who really pushed it. So you have ICO, then you have the STO, utility token, but now really have way more sector that has been developed over the past cycle that really help us to reach to the current market that we have today or we had a few months ago. And obviously, as I mentioned before, DeFi, yield farming. So here you can see Uniswap, Aave, Pancake, and I think this can also gonna be a very big sector. Gonna be really be shaken up because everyone and anyone is definitely not so comfortable or certain that they can get the return or the promise yield on the different protocol because of what happened to our Luna. And then we have also the Celsius crisis and other ones. So really, I think people are going to feel less and less comfortable staying in this sector. I think this sector really will take some time to recover, which give an opportunity for some of you guys to obviously buy certain product you really believe in or you really been buying before at a cheaper level. So obviously this is something for you guys to consider. For me, from what I remember, one of the main at the prominent yield farming project that really made big noise, it's Yearn Finance. That's for me was the biggest one. I heard about in 2020, I think 2020, 2021. That was when I really heard about it. But again, that was really the one that really made big headways. And this project, for example, really had some big price movement. I think at some point even had a higher price than Bitcoin, whatever the price of Bitcoin was at the time. You can see here, even Rich, look here, 65, $82,000. That was the price of this project back in November 2021. So this is just for you guys to understand how crazy this project went. And now, let's look at the market cap. The market cap was also like $3 billion. Now it's 174. Obviously, any project you guys want to look at or invest, obviously need to do some further analysis. And I think my simple philosophy is always to look at project and look at entering at around that 94, 95%, which is exactly what we are currently are. But we might even have some further drop. So if you ever had this token at a higher price and you still believe in it, definitely at a 95% discount, that is really good. Take into consideration, you're not necessarily gonna go back to that all-time high of 80, here say $93,000, which is crazy. So again, if it's at $700 or $800, I think I'll feel comfortable. But still there's a fear that it's never ever gonna go back to that $92,000 or $93,000, and it's just gonna be fluctuating around that $10,000 to $20,000. And obviously you have the mother lode, the one really shake the market is the Algorithmic Stablecoin, and we can see here most of them are not pegged to dollars. So you can see here, let's just do this. Okay, this one for example is value more than $1, which is a bit weird. This is obviously euro. So I think when it comes to algorithmic stablecoin, it's all about the number and the calculation and the liquidity. If you don't have enough liquidity, all it takes for someone crazy to sell his peg to dollar or euro for less than euro, and then basically we'll have a stablecoin that start to depeg from the original price. So this is obviously, you can see we have here $3.8 billion of stablecoin that are algorithmic, basically not backed by fiat or not backed by equivalent. That will basically make sure they stay stable. And so yeah, so this is obviously something for you guys to take into account. This is a new market that has been added since the last cycle. And then obviously we have the Solana, that market cap or token that really didn't exist until a few years ago. And this is really, as you can see here, we're looking here at almost 10% of the current market cap is related to Solana project, which is kind of big. Now, I'm not sure if this you will consider it as the right one, but that's how CoinMarketCap decided. Obviously, not all Tether is related to Solana, because they obviously have their own Tether is based on Solana blockchain. But again, this is literally projects that are related to Solana. And I think this is obviously going to have a very big regression in the market cap. And then we have obviously the one who really got everyone excited, the meme token, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I still remember like the percentage that Shiba Inu generated, it's crazy. And again, this time it was Shiba Inu. In the previous cycle, it was other project. The first cycle, I think, was what? The first cycle, it was XRP. And then we have multiple different projects. So we're always going to have those meme coin that will appear and basically disappear. And then obviously this time we had Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and obviously you have all this imitation project obviously trying to imitate or use a persona to obviously to get people behind it. So once again, I'm reminding you all the different projects that basically help us to reach to those $3 trillion. And then we have obviously the play to earn token, which is also another sector that has been really prominent and been going up quite a lot over the past from the last bear market to until the bull market. So in theory we have, let's look at this. We have the wrap token, we have the Polygon ecosystem, we have the DeFi token, we have the collectible and NFT token, Metaverse token, anything related to algorithmic stablecoin, Solana ecosystem. We have obviously meme token, and obviously you have Playter now. I didn't cover everything. Obviously you have the Avalanche, you have some other project, but I actually just want to remind you what helped us reach to this current or to the all-time high market cap is all these different projects that help us reach. And we're actually in a way better position that we were compared to the second cycle, the first cycle, where we literally were only depending on ICO. The moment the ICO became irrelevant, and obviously that literally pushed the market even further down. So the good thing is that compared to the life cycle, we have way more projects that are making an impact. They got different people from different sectors excited. They have invested a lot of money and that are in it. But this is obviously to remind you guys that those sectors can also regress dramatically. Now we're now looking at $890 billion. Now the date of today is the Friday, June 2022. Now after taking all this, again, I do not, don't have any inside information. I'm just using my own intuition. By using my own intuition, I really feel that the right market cap, the bottom for this market cap is actually gonna be, you're not gonna like my answer. It's gonna go back all the way back to 2020 September. Now 2020 September, okay, let's look at it. 2020 September. So we're now looking at more than 2 years. So I feel that this is how low the market cap gonna go. So just to put in perspective, so if I feel the market can go to 2020 September, so let's see what was the price of Bitcoin in 2020 September. All right, so this was the price of Bitcoin. Okay, 2020 September, the price of Bitcoin was around $11,000. Now, this is the worst case scenario that I'm talking about, that I feel that this is the price range that Bitcoin can reach. So all you guys need to do is that we're currently looking at, let's call it what, $900 billion market cap. I think that we can even wipe out even further because we have so many new sectors being added that also gonna shrink. Some of them gonna go, gonna go bust. Some of them gonna somehow maintain themselves. And I feel that we might even see at some point Bitcoin at $11,000. So this is all based on if the market cap is at $300 billion, what will be the price of Bitcoin and the rest. And I feel that the price of Bitcoin can go even further to $11,000. How did I come to this conclusion? Now, compared to other cycle that we had, we are now in the craziest moment. We have still the war in Russia, Ukraine, that basically has created issue in Europe. We have the price of gas going up dramatically and also basically increasing the cost of living for many countries. In Europe, you had obviously the sanction that has been placed on Russia that obviously has impacted the many countries that are dependent on working on Russia with Russia. And obviously you have the aspect that now Russia is no longer accepting dollars, or actually accepting their own currency. So you actually have now a lot of different incidents that has led to the current situation where we are now, that most country has crazy inflation rate between 5 to even 100% in certain countries because of COVID, that basically COVID-19 created a delay in the chain supplies, and there's delay with car parts, computer parts, memory, literally delaying almost every part possible that has been heavily affected by the COVID, and basically created a higher demand for certain item, but we have very low supply, so which created a higher price. So all these things, and us basically going back to the norm of no longer being forced to quarantine, where you can actually travel. So even the airline company obviously are charging way more money than before COVID because they lost a lot of money. So everything became more expensive. So now our money is buying less than what we were able to buy before COVID. So all these things basically creating a lot of shock the market. Also to remind you guys that the United States of America has been printing a lot of money that basically made their economy even weaker. So this basically is creating all this market movement, and basically now the stock market is going down dramatically, and you had a lot of companies reach their all-time high during COVID because their business profited the most because people were working from home. So if you are looking at stores that were mainly focusing on selling online, they made a lot of money because the store that usually were making a lot of money physically are now trying to adapt to sell online. So we saw a lot of companies that made a lot of money. And just to give you guys an example, like if you look at Zoom, I'm sure you guys remember Zoom. Zoom was the stock that everyone were looking at. And if you look here, guess what? It's October 16, the same period of time that we literally reach all-time high in the cryptocurrency. That's also when most of the crypto and stock reach all-time high. And I literally think that we're gonna see most of the project literally going to the price that we saw of around September. Now some company gonna be even further down, and some company will still be here. So all this really, guys, to remind that this cycle is not like any other cycle. We might see even further aggressive price movement downward and not upward as we all hope for. And you should only focus on projects you really believe in. And if you don't currently invest in cryptocurrency and you thought about it when it's 60,000, obviously buying now or buying some of it might be a good idea. And also another thing that happened over the last 12 months, we have way more companies that are publicly making statements that are acquiring cryptocurrency and buying Bitcoin. Some of them has been buying them through margin or basically taking a loan. And if the price of a cryptocurrency go further down from a specific price, then they're gonna default and they're gonna be in big trouble. So I think we're gonna have one of those. So I think that we're gonna have few companies that are gonna default because they bought in cryptocurrency at all-time high. They took a loan, and now they're not profitable as before, so they cannot pay any more of those loans, which obviously can have a very big impact on the crypto market. And then we're gonna have certain situations where we're gonna have, I believe, some issue with the more DeFi protocol and wrap protocol tokens. This is my fear that's gonna happen, and I'm prepared for it. So I'm still not out of the market. I'm still very a big believer, and I'll definitely gonna go all in if Bitcoin reach $11,000. And I look at it as a cleanup, market manipulation, whatever you want to call it, but this is how this crypto market work. And unless we're gonna be worth $100 trillion, we're gonna keep seeing those crazy market volatility, because now we have the big player, the one that has been manipulating the stock market and other market are in our sphere. So if you want to take one thing and only one thing from this specific video, is the following, is that we are in a better position compared to our previous cycle because we have new sector has been added. Saying that, more protocol has been added, which means also more of them can disappear and shrink. We are predicting, we mean us, my followers, I'm predicting that we're gonna see some big market drop, and I'm mentally and emotionally ready to see the market cap at $300 billion. This is where I'm mentally prepared to see it. And again, this will bring back to the price that we saw in September 2020. That is a price range, that is the market cap that I'm looking at. And until then, I'm not going to be heavily investing. So if you have any comment, if you think the way I think, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you feel. Take care. Bye bye.